Hey everybody, ChaoticMeatball here, and welcome back to yet another Pokemon Challenge video. Before we get into it though, I just wanted to say that I'll be streaming next week's Pokemon Challenge over on twitch.tv, so be sure to follow me over there, link in the description. So today, I decided I wanted to do something that wasn't super long, but also still have a challenge. So I decided, hey, a minimum battles run of a game would be fun, so I decided to try it out in Ruby and Sapphire. I did some digging and I managed to find a guide that was already written on Reddit, so I'll be leaving that link to the thread in the description. But I also saw some things that I thought could be improved, so I just jumped right into it. The only rules are that you cannot fight any optional trainers or wild battles. Wild battles don't count as a battle if you're only attempting to run away and don't get any EXP. And to make it especially hard, no items in battle. This guide has items in it, but I wanted to try my best to do it without items. Not sure if I can, but I'm sure I'm gonna try being stubborn and go at it over and over again. Anyway, let's get down to business. So, the only Pokemon that it's possible with this run is Mudkip. This is because all the Pokemon that you can get can't learn the Water HMs. So Mudkip, and eventually Swampert, is going to have 3 HMs in one oven move slot by the end. This is because Anorith is able to get Rock Smash and Cut. Fly is optional, so we don't need it, but Swampert is the only thing you can get without catching a wild Pokemon, which counts as a battle, that can learn Surf, Dive, Waterfall, and Strength. Anyway, I'll get into that in greater detail later on. The first thing I had to worry about here was resetting Mudkip for a good nature. Fortunately enough, I got Naughty Nature first try, which is plus attack minus special defense, so I think I'll be fine. Unfortunately, the physical special split hasn't happened yet, so Mudkip's water moves won't gain a boost, but ground and normal type moves like Mudshot, Earthquake, and Strength are going to be very useful at this point. Battle number 1 is against the wild Poochyena, which you can't run away from, so afterwards, Birch sends you to fight May. May's battle too, and she's not that difficult. It's basically the same thing as a speed run. After getting the Pokedex, we're going to make a concerted effort not to fill this thing, because dang it, I do that enough already. The only trainer required on Route 102 is the first youngster, as he doesn't spin at all. He's got a level 5 Zigzagoon, but I'm already level 6, so having the level advantage makes it a bit easier here. After avoiding the rest of the trainers, picking the berries, and getting through the useless tutorial, I'm able to progress into Route 104, where there aren't any required trainers either, but there is a spinner here that we have to get by. This is made easy thanks to what's known as bag manipulation. This is actually used a lot in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald speedruns, where when the trainer's looking away from your choice of path, you go into the bag, back out, and walk past the trainer, and they won't spin to face you in time so you can pass without fail. I used the crap out of this throughout the run, since I didn't want to save in front of every spinner out there and hope for the best. It would have driven me crazy. Either way, after getting past him, I'm able to go into the Petalburg Woods, where there's only one required battle against a Team Magma Grunt. He's got a level 9 Poochyena, which is easily taken down thanks to the likes of spamming Mud Slap to lower accuracy. Believe me, we are going to be using the heck out of this move throughout most of the challenge. I got to level 8 off of this battle, leaving just a few trainers to avoid and Rustboro City. And again, there's no required trainers in the gym, so it's already time to fight Roxanne. Sadly though, I don't have a water-type move yet, but Mud Slap is plenty enough for Geodude. And luckily you're able to get Lepa Berries before the first gym, so I gave one to Mudkip as a held item in order to be able to spam Mud Slap more than 10 times, since Roxanne has 2 potions, and that makes a bit of a pain. After knocking out her level 14 Geodude with a level 8, I'm able to jump up to level 10, giving Mudkip a Water Gun. This makes Nosepass much easier, but it's still wise to use Mud Slap in order to take down the accuracy so that you don't die. This took me about 5 tries to get down, but that's pretty nice when you're considering some of the later battles. After winning, I'm able to proceed into the Rust Turf Tunnel, passing through Route 116 without fighting a single trainer, and fighting the Team Magma Grunt. He's got a level 11 Poochyena, so 2 water guns and a Mud Slap later, it's down, and I'm able to progress to Dewford Town. Granite Cave is battle-free, as well as grabbing the Silk Scarf in town to boost the normal type moves of my Mudkip. And yeah, there's really no battles in between. It's already time to challenge the gym. I'd continue onwards and skip Brawly right now, but that would risk me getting an odd amount of EXP from Mudkip, making it evolve higher than level 16 and ignoring Mudshot, and a move that I'd really like to have. The only required trainer in this gym is a Battle Girl with a level 14 Metatite. Mudslap and Water Gun are the way to go, leaving me just myself and Brawly. This actually took quite a few attempts since he's got two Pokemon that are pretty well over my level, but the attempt that I won was one where Machop wasted 3 turns on Bulk Up and Leer, allowing me to get off a bunch of Mud Slaps, avoiding damage entirely, and KOing with a few Water Guns, managing to get through his 2 Super Potions. This leaves just Makihita, and it did the same thing, wasting time with Bulk Up as I lowered his accuracy and only managing to hit a single Arm Thrust before going back to Bulk Up, and eventually going down and getting me to level 15. I'm kind of surprised that my starter hasn't evolved once by this point, but that is about to change. After taking out Brawly, I sailed over to Route 109, passing through it and grabbing the soft sand to boost my ground-type moves without fighting any trainers, and getting into Slateport City. There's a lot of things to do here actually, including basically selling everything I've collected so far so that I could buy vitamins later on. I could have bought some now, but I figured I wouldn't need them quite yet. This helps increase my stats since I'm not gaining many EVs, so vitamins are key to getting through this challenge. There's 2 more Magma Grunts I have to handle before heading to Route 110, one of which has a Numel that goes down in 1 Water Gun, and the other one has both a Zubat and a Numel, being pretty easy to take down, getting to level 16 and evolving my Mudkip into Marshtomp, and getting Mudshot on top of it. And just in time too, since it's time for one of the harder battles in the run, Rival 2. This battle's notoriously hard in speedruns, and here it's even worse because you have less EXP. Essentially, this is because Grovyle can easily 2-shot you with Absorb, so you barely have any time to bash it with a few Mud Slaps and pray that she misses everything. She leads with Wailmer, which isn't that much of a pain since it just wasted time with Splash for some reason, only managing to hit 1 Water Gun before I was able to take it down. Once I got to Grovyle though, it outsped and hit Absorb, but after about 20 attempts I managed to get it to miss literally everything afterwards, allowing me to KO after nailing a few Mud Slaps and Mud Shots, leaving just Numel. Sure enough, it was just a one-shot with Water Gun winning me the battle. I had a feeling this one was going to be crazy, but hey, that's just Rival 2 and Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald for you. After passing through the rest of Route 110 unscathed, I'm able to get to Mauville City and head straight for the gym, where I'm able to take on Raleigh's Waltz with 1 Mudshot. Woohoo! Opening up the gym for me to take down. There's 2 required trainers in here, both a Battle Girl and a Rocker. However, I made a kind of a big mistake, and that's not healing after taking out the Battle Girl, because if you click on the button to fight the Rocker, you are walled in here unless you fight an additional trainer, so be wary. Marshtomp's at level 20 right before Watson, which is plenty enough for me to take him down, especially since it's part ground type. He leads with Magnemite, which is a one-shot with Mudshot after getting hit with Sonic Boom. Voltor's also a one-shot, hitting a rollout for 1 damage, leaving just Magneton. It does manage to confuse Marshtomp, making it hit itself as he went for Sonic Boom, but he missed and allowed me to nail a Mudshot for the one-shot, winning me the battle. Gotta love having an easy gym battle after dealing with Rival 2. Sadly though, I have to give Marshtomp the HM for Rock Smash to progress. Fortunately though, I don't have to fight anyone until the end of Route 12, where there's a single cool trainer with 3 Pokemon on her team. She's not too difficult, though I didn't have anything that was neutral on her Wingull now that I had to put Rock Smash on Marshtomp. But that didn't really inhibit much. Route 113 is completely trainerless, allowing me to get to Philarbor Town and through Route 14 without fighting a trainer either. And it's kinda crazy how many friggin' routes are on this game that don't have a single required trainer. Even the Team Magma encounter in Meteor Falls have no fights to be had, so I went to Mount Chimney so I could pick the fight, where there's a Grunt with a Zubat and a Poochyena, nothing too special there, Admin Tabitha, who's really not a pain since all 3 of his Pokemon are one-shots with either Water Gun or Mudshot, and Maxie. Now, he's a bit of a pain, mostly because of the fact that he has a Golbat, something that I can't touch with either Mud Slap or Mud Shot, resists Rock Smash, and doesn't take that much damage from Water Gun. So, I decided to part ways with Mudshot, replacing it with the TM for Rock Tomb that I got back in Roxanne's gym. Once I taught this though, I managed to win on my first try. Mightyena's the hardest Pokemon to get by thanks to not being quad weak to water like Camerupt, and not being weak to rock like Golbat. Mudslap though is still a good way to make him miss, but the fact that he has Sand Attack makes it a wee bit harder to lower his accuracy when you yourself begin missing. Also, fun fact, this script is being written the day that the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl beta leaked out, so I guess after Maxie got beaten so hard, he became the first gym leader over in Sinnoh. Jagged Pass is the easiest place to get through without fighting any trainers, landing me in Lava Ridge Town, and finally, allow me to grab an egg so that I can add the first of a few new Pokemon to the team, this being Winona. It's just fodder, but at least I can switch out in case I get hit with some sort of stat-lowering moves like Sand Attack. None of the trainers in the Lava Ridge Gym are required, you just have to memorize which holes put you through what areas so you don't accidentally run into any of them. And luckily, Flannery isn't too difficult at all, since she only uses 2 Slugmas and a Torkoal. Slugma number 1 is a 2-shot with Mud Slap, missing Smog. The second one is nearly a 1-shot, but it gets up a light screen before going down. This inhibits Water Gun, but last out is Torkoal, who has the ability White Smoke, making it impossible to lower his accuracy. So I swap out into Wynot in order to bait Overheat, lowering his special attack and making it much easier to take it down, even through a track. 4-shotting it with Rock Tomb, and with that, there's just a few errands to run before heading to the next gym. Those include getting a rare candy and the Claw Fossil from Route 111, now that I have the Go Goggles, getting HM04 from the Rust Earth Tunnel, and reviving the Claw Fossil into Anorith. Again, fodder, but hey, it's pretty handy when Norman has 2 Slackings that can obliterate you. You have to fight 3 trainers in this gym before fighting him, all of which have a single Pokemon, so it really doesn't matter who you fight, so I just got through them, barely missing level 28 before challenging Norman. You know how many tries this took? Oh, let's just say too many. But my first few were actually before grabbing Anorith. Then I realized, hey, it would be smart to have a second Zac Pokemon for the second Slacking, so that I can't KO Marshtomp immediately. I probably spent about an hour and 40 minutes attempting this fight, finally getting an attempt where the AI wasn't smart enough to use Feint Attack, and a second Slacking kept going for Focus Punch, even allowing Anorith to deal a substantial amount of damage despite being 11 levels lower. I probably should have given Marshtomp another Lepaberry to give me a bit more availability in Mud Slap, but I managed to do it without, which I guess is an added challenge, so I'm not disappointed. After taking out Norman though, Wally's parents give me the HM for Surf, finally giving me an option that isn't Water Gun, more than doubling the amount of damage I can do with a Water-type move, but taking yet another move slot up with an HM. There's also a lot for me to do now that I have Surf though, and that's grab a ton of items around the region that are obtainable without additional battles. This gives me quite a bit of money, rare candies, and even the TM for Ice Beam, which is obtainable in the abandoned ship. Believe me, we're going to get some use out of this in the Elite Four. After that hour-long detour that also included New Mauville, I surfed my bum over to East Hoenn to get to Route 118, where there aren't any required battles, along with Southern Route 119. There actually isn't anything here either until I'm able to reach the Weather Institute, where I have to fight 2 T-Magma Grunts, both of which are equipped with standard Pokemon that are really easy for Marshtomp to take down at this point. There's also Admin Courtney, who's just as easy thanks to having a Numel, which is a 1-shot, as well as a Mightyena, which is a 2-shot, both with Surf. Even Confusion wasn't enough to save Mightyena. Wait, never mind, it did. Okay, I am actually ashamed that Courtney managed to take me down and take me 2 tries, but that's just my luck in and of itself. With my victory though, I am able to obtain my 4th Pokemon of the adventure, Castform. This is actually going to be useful in a handful of battles. Shocking, I know, but it has Rain Dance, Hail, Sunny Day, and Powder Snow. Everything there, aside from Sunny Day, even Sunny Day though, is going to be super useful, so it's going to be decently nice. However, we still have one more battle before we can get to Fortree City, and that's Rival 3. If you think Rival 2 is the bane of a speedrun, Rival 3 is the bane of a minimum battles run. And this is because Grovyle can 100% of the time one-shot you with Leaf Blade. That is a little bit of a pain, but this is where Castform comes in. She leads with Numel, which is a one-shot with Surf, leading to Grovyle, so I swap over to Castform and set up Sunny Day to turn Castform into a Fire type, making it resist Leaf Blade. Powder Snow doesn't take any damage decrease due to Sunny Day, so I used one as he went for another Screech. I don't know why he goes for Screech, since Grass is special in Gen 3, but I swap over to Wynaut anyway as fodder for Leaf Blade, resetting Castform's stats, so he goes back into Screech, so I went for another Powder Snow, and then swap for Anorith, predicting the Leaf Blade, leaving Castform unscathed as I hit one more Powder Snow and freeze it. I figured this was the only opportunity I had to KO since Castform took over half damage from Leaf Blade, so I went for one more Powder Snow, swapping into Marshtomp and KOing with 2 Mud Slaps. probably should have just went for Surf to KO to not risk another turn of defrosting, but that's fine. Whelmer's her last Pokemon, so I just went for Rock Tomb, hitting it 3 times for the KO and the win. Y'all wanna know how many times it took me to get a freeze with Powder Snow? Try 23. Yeah, this run is wild. Either way, she gives me a useless HM and I'm able to progress into Fortree, heal, and go under Route 120 to get the Sylph Scope. Technically this forces me into a battle with a Kecleon, but I'm able to run away from it as I would any other wild Pokemon. So I just do that and I didn't count it as a battle. Now I can get into the gym, which has 2 required trainers, but they use flying types, so Rock Tomb was the easy way to go, leaving just me and Winona. This battle is a bit crazy since Swellow easily outspeeds and uses Endeavor to take over half of Marshtomp's HP, so I basically had to bait it into some fashion, which basically failed every time. So I had to do the iffy move of waiting until I got a battle where I hit a critical Surf, so it would go down in 1 shot. From there though, it's not really too terrible. Next out is Pelipper, so I swapped for Cast Form, going for Powder Snow in an attempt to take down its health enough to make Rock Tomb KO in a single shot, predicting the Protect and instead going for Hail that turn to do continual damage, and getting a crit with Powder Snow and just whittling it down in general. Since she's got a few Hyper Potions as well, so I may as well get rid of those. Hold up, I froze it? Huh, didn't expect that to happen in the same battle as the crit, but I'll take it. I swapped for Marshtomp and took it out with Rock Tomb, leading to Skarmory. It has Sand Attack, but that's not too much of a big deal since I managed to hit through the first one, but it did less than half, so I went over to Rock Tomb in an attempt to make sure she wouldn't use a Hyper Potion, nailing a critical Surf to take it out. Last out is Altaria, so I just went for Rock Tomb once, doing nearly half and lowering its speed, so I hit a second one, barely living a second Dragon Breath, leading to a Hyper Potion. I used another Rock Tomb to lower her speed for a 3rd time, swapping for Wynot as a safe switch to Anorith, so that I could do a sliver of damage with Rock Smash. However, the intention was to get the defense crop, which I do. It goes down to 1 Dragon Breath, so I send in Cast Form to nail a Powder Snow before realizing, oh crap, she's going for Dragon Dance. But then I get yet another freeze in this battle. Literally how? So I said screw it and stayed in, managing to take it down with a few more Powder Snows, winning me the fight. That was probably the most hype battle I've ever had against Winona, since she really doesn't stand out to me that much, but hey, I guess everyone has their standout performance. With my 6th badge in hand and still not having a fully evolved starter, I am able to progress through both Route 120 and Route 21 without fighting a single additional trainer before arriving in Lily Cove City. I can't progress without going through Mount Pyre though, so I stopped in to heal, went over there to fight 3 required Magma Grunts before getting the Blue Orb. Now I've got to backtrack to Slateport without Fly, which isn't that hard, and is a great opportunity to refresh my vitamin count for Marshtomp, but not too many since I don't have that much money. With the event in Slateport done, I can go all the way back to Lily Cove and take out the Magma hideout, shockingly without a single required trainer until Tabitha, who's blocking off the submarine. And he's not even that hard at all, since I'm able to one-shot his Numel, his Mightyena with a crit, and his Camerupt, all with Surf. It's kinda crazy that you can get through the entire hideout with only 1 trainer battle, even being able to get the Nugget, Master Ball, and Max Elixir without any optional ones. With that out of the way though, I'm able to progress over to Mossdeep City, again without a single battle, and into the 7th gym. There's only 2 required trainers in here as well, only blocking off the switches to make the path to the leaders accessible. Keyword, leaders. This is a double battle, and because of that, Marshtomp can be wiped out very easily, even with my 3 Pokemon of fodder. Fortunately, I am 1 level out from evolving, so I used a single rare candy to evolve Marshtomp into Swampert, which makes this battle so much easier. Tate and Liza only have 2 Pokemon in Ruby and Sapphire, those being Solrock and Lunatone, which gives me a type advantage. Unfortunately, they immediately set up Light Screen, making Surf a 4-shot on Lunatone and a 3-shot on Solrock. But then, to counter that, I have Rain Dance on Cast Form, which then basically negates Light Screen. Cast Form's barely able to survive a Psychic from Solrock, but that allows him to set up Rain Dance, switching out next turn expecting a double target. This allows Swampert to hit a critical on Lunatone to take it down, leaving just Solrock. Unfortunately, again, Solrock went for Psychic on Swampert rather than Cast Form, wasting some EXP that I really would have liked to have on Swampert, but hey, I don't think 600 EXP is going to be that big of a difference. Just gotta hope it doesn't bite me in the bum later on. Well, now it's time to get another Water HM, that being Dive. I'd rather not have all 4 slots of my Swampert have HMs, since nothing else in my party can get strength. So I went to the move deleter to delete Rock Smash, giving it to Anorith and replacing it with Dive. Also, I forgot to record the Seafloor Cavern, but there weren't any required trainers in there aside from Courtney, who was a joke, so it didn't really matter. I at least noticed before fighting Maxie though, so at least I got the battle that mattered. Maxie leads with Mightyena, so I used 3 Surfs to take it down, getting him to waste a Super Potion to do so. He does a lot of stat changing here though, so I swapped for Cast Form and attempted to set up Rain Dance, barely surviving a wing attack to do so. After going down, I sent back into Swampert to KO with 3 Surfs, only taking damage from an Air Cutter, leaving just Camerupt. And in case you haven't noticed, Camerupt dies from getting rain dripped on it, which is already happening, so Surf's double as powerful. Bye bye. After the whole cutscene where everybody freaks out, it's time to go ahead and get the Legendary, which we'll be running away from, and I'm kinda surprised that there's such a little amount of battles by this point. I kinda wonder what game has the least— oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, is that a shiny fucking Groudon? What? What? That was the reenactment of my reaction, and just seeing it again gives me chills. Now, since you can actually run away from this thing, and not consider it a battle, I would have done that if it hadn't been shiny, so I'm making an exception, chucking my Master Ball at it and shoving it into the PC, because I am not losing a freaking shiny Groudon. Oh my god. Whew. Regain composure. And with that, I'm able to enter the last gym, fighting 0 trainers and taking on Wallace. He's not that hard though, but he does have a few Pokemon to get through. He leads with Love Disc, going for Attract as I nail his Strength, doing over half as I break through, hitting his second one next turn to KO. Next out is Whiscash, which ends up being dumb and sets up Rain Dance to make Surf a 2-shot rather than a 3-shot, leading to Celio. Mudslap quickly takes effect, allowing him to only hit 1 Water Pulse before beginning to miss, and then allowing me to take it out relatively quickly with that and Strength, allowing him to waste a Hyper Potion in the process. Fourth out is Seaking, allowing me to hit a Mudslap as he sets up a Rain Dance, making him faster thanks to Swift Swim. He still misses with Water Pulse, allowing me to get another Mudslap, and oddly enough he begins to go for Horn Drill, a 30% accurate move while having decreased accuracy, allowing me to KO after a Hyper Potion. Why would you do that? Anyway, last out is his Milotic, so I used my last 3 Mudslaps on it, going for Strength twice more to finish it off. That battle only took about 6 tries to do, which is shockingly low due to how many Pokemon he has that are over my current level. With the last badge in tow, there's no more use for Dive, so I went back to Lily Cove to use the move deleter so I can replace Dive with Waterfall, leaving a single move slot open for other moves. Mind you, I still have the TMs for Double Team, Ice Beam, and Earthquake, 3 moves I'll need to take advantage of for the Victory Road and the Pokemon League. I also went ahead and scoured the region for the remaining rare candies and hidden items I may have missed, since I wanted to make sure that I had the best stats I physically can without the need of battles, therefore getting more money thanks to the items and then buying more vitamins. Victory Road itself, though, has the most required trainers of any area, having 5 required battles, those being against 4 cool trainers and the battle at the end against Wally. He's not too bad, especially since I gave Swampert Double Team for this fight. He leads with Altaria, going for Dragon Dance as I go for Double Team, then going for Aerial Ace. That basically nullifies my Double Team, but for some reason he swaps into Roselia and then one-shots. Well, I decided to go ahead and lead with Cast Form the next time so I could set up Rain Dance, barely not going down to a single Dragon Breath, managing to get off a Powder Snow before going down. I went back into Swampert, hitting a Surf as he sets up Safeguard, then going for Waterfall as he swaps into Roselia, doing about 35 to 40% before I outspeed and KO with Strength, leading back to his Altaria. Strength is a 3-shot, taking advantage of the turns that he uses a Super Potion and Safeguard, running out to do so while only getting hit with a single Aerial Ace in the process. Next out is Delcatty, which has Feint Attack, so that's gonna be a little bit of a problem, even though I went for Double Team because I don't want to get hit with Sing. After that, I went ahead and went for Surf to 2-shot, leading to Magneton. It's a 2-shot, barely doing anything with Tri-Attack, leaving just his Gardevoir. Luckily, he kept missing Psychic, allowing me to 3-shot with Surf and Waterfall, winning the fight. Not gonna lie, Double Team was not that useful other than Gardevoir. But Psychic is a super strong move, and probably could have taken me out easily, so it was at least worth using for this battle. And with that, it's time for the league. I sold everything, including the X items that I thought I may have needed in case it was impossible to win without items. But I said screw it, either it's no items or no video, and since you're seeing this, I'm sure you know which one out. I bought a few revives, hyper potions, and full heals, leaving just me and 5 more battles before the Hall of Fame. Sydney's up first, so let's get him out of the way quickly. I decided to use double team strats for him, setting up several of them on his mighty Yenna, though he did get a few sand attacks on me, so it ended up being a little bit of a pain to hit anything. But I maxed out on Cacturn, nailing it with 2 strengths and a Surf to take it down. Next out is Sharpedo, who manages to do quite a bit of damage to me thanks to both Rough Skin and hitting myself in confusion thanks to a lucky swagger that he got through. Fortunately, this also works in my favor, as now Strength is twice as powerful, making taking the rest of his team out a breeze, as Absol's a 2-shot with Waterfall, and Shiftree a 2-shot with Strength. It was a close battle, but I didn't have to use my rare candies yet, so that's a plus. This was actually a strategy though, because I wanted to get to level 44 so that I could use the remaining 8 rare candies I got around the region to get to level 52, the level that Swampert naturally learns Earthquake. This allows me to have a super powerful move for both Phoebe and Glacia, swap it for Ice Beam for Drake, then use the TM for it against Steven. It's literally perfect. Now let's see if it works in execution. She leads with Dusclops, which is taken down thanks to both Earthquake and Curse, leading to her Bayonet. I swapped for Why Not to get rid of Curse, allowing it to go down and then back into Swampert, nailing an Earthquake for nearly a 1-shot as she uses Spite and full restores. So I went for Waterfall for a 2-shot, KOing and causing her Sableye to come out next. It's also a 2-shot with Waterfall, doing some minimal damage with Shadow Ball. Bayonet number 2's out next, and I guess it was a range since it's the same level as the first one and is 1-shot by Earthquake. Either way, last up is her second Dusclops, which takes several shots of Waterfall before confusing me, and leading to me getting her into healing range, which in turn allowed her to do enough damage to get me into Torrent range, leaving Waterfall and Earthquake to KO. That was a fun back and forth at the end, but let's not allow it to come down to the wire again, please? Because that was kind of stressful, that I thought I was going to have to do another couple of attempts, but we didn't have to, so yippee. Glacia's up next, and she's a bit of a pain. Like, a really big pain? She took most of the attempts out of the entire Elite Four, and that's because I was a big dummy and didn't give Swampert the soft sand, which then turned her first Glalie into a 1-shot. The same attempt as well ended up having her first Celio go down to a critical Earthquake, meaning I was at full health going into her second Celia, something that hasn't happened so far. It's barely not a 1-shot, allowing her to hit and attract, but I broke through, hitting a second Earthquake as she healed with a full restore, KOing with 1 more after outspeeding. Next out is her second Glalie, which doesn't do much to me as she wastes its first turn with Hail, allowing me to get it down into the red with Earthquake and leading to a full restore, Earthquake, and Strength to take it out. Last out is Walrein, and this actually wasn't as big of a threat as I expected it to be. It hit Blizzard thanks to Hail, but Earthquake's an easy 2-shot, winning me the fight. I wish I had thought of the soft sand before trying this for nearly an hour, though. Whoopsie. Well, at least Drake's easy. I replaced Earthquake with Ice Beam, and it 1-shots Shelgon, Altaria, both of his Flygons, and Salamence, leaving just Steven. My first 2 attempts were tried with Ice Beam for use on Cradilly and Skarmory, but it really wasn't all that useful, so I just put Earthquake back on for the final battle. Steven leads with Skarmory, so I went for Surf, but he went for Spikes, allowing me to KO it for free. Next out is Aggron, which is a 1-shot with Surf, leaving me Cradilly. I managed to get a critical on this attempt with Earthquake on it, which, by the way, if it didn't, Gurgadrain is nearly a 1-shot on me, making it near impossible to 2-shot on him, so that was very lucky. Which leads into his Claydol. Surf does a ton of damage, but he manages to set up Light Screen, making Waterfall a 3-shot after a full restore. Fortunately, no, next out is Metagross, and I don't need Waterfall or Surf, barely not KOing with Earthquake as he went for Psychic, doing massive damage and letting his Citrus Berry pop, so Earthquake managed to finish it off without another healing item, leaving just Armaldo. Speed with Earthquake, doing about 2/3 as he hits with Slash, missing the KO and enabling Swampert to nail 1 final Earthquake to win the battle and the run with only 51 battles. Honestly, not a terribly hard run, though there were those crazy hard battles like Rival 3 and Glacia that made this run definitely feel like it was a drag, but not so much so that I didn't enjoy it. However, next week we'll be jumping into some uncharted territory. Remember how I said earlier that this was being scripted the same day as the Diamond and Pearl beta leaks occurred? Well, next time I'm going to be taking on Diamond and Pearl with a single beta gibble. I gotta give the little guy the attention it deserves, because clearly Game Freak left it in the dust. See you guys then. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and comment on what challenges you'd like to see me do in the future. If you really enjoyed it and want to help support me making more content like this, you can hit the join button on the video to get access to videos a day earlier than everyone else, or you can head over to my Patreon, link in the description. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you guys next time.